What's up, guys? Welcome to the Saladino show. I am Joey Salads, and before we start this show, I like to address something because there's a lot of hate comments on me because of the Joey Salads channel that I have. You know, I go by Joey Salads on the internet, and there's a lot of hate. There's a lot of hate that I expect liberals to comment, like boycott right side broadcasting. You know, F Joey Salads. All the racist stuff. Listen, I've done plenty of videos in the past. Whatever you think about me based on the past, don't let that make you judge right side broadcasting and this podcast in that way. I respect that you guys are conservatives. I respect that you guys will probably be mad about previous videos that I've done that may not have been so good. But don't let that judge your opinions on this podcast and on this network. Because I get also a lot of comments saying, I actually hated this Joey Salads guy, but I actually like his podcast. I do actually respect the comments saying, I hate you, Joe. I watched your podcast, and I still hate you. Like, give it a chance. Don't do the whole boycotting hate thing. Don't start protesting right side broadcasting because I'm on it. Listen, I'm just a little blip on this network. I'm a small show on this network. I'm 1 hour out of the hundreds of hours filmed. All right, don't go full libtard in a situation like this. At least watch the show once, and if you hate it, then you can hate. I know there's going to be the troll comments below that are going to hate. No matter what, don't be a troll. If you're a troll, stay in your lane. Admit that you're a troll. But at least give it a chance. At least give it a shot. Because I know there are people who do listen and that do hate me. And once they listen, they're like, you know what, this ain't bad. You bring up good points. Other people, they're just like, F you. So, yeah, we're going to get right into the podcast news right now. And first up, we're going to be talking about these people that did that hate crime. And I thought this picture was kind of funny, so I wanted to show it to you. And there's a meme. There's a meme that someone shared that I'm friends with, and it kind of aggravated me because it was a picture of a white guy, and it was like beat, raped, assaulted, and humiliated a disabled boy, including ramming a coat hanger into his rectum and kicking it repeatedly. Not charged with a hate crime, not charged with rape, no national outrage, sentenced to 2 years probation with no record when completed. Then it shows those same Black Lives Matter radicals tied and beat a disabled boy, charged with a hate crime, will most certainly go to jail. National consensus, outrage. Animals, kill them, stop relying on cops and courts. But why you mad though? Listen, don't judge your entire political opinions of the racial divide based off of one meme and one example. The problem that I have with this is all the truth is not there. I don't know who this guy's name is. I tried to do research to find him and find out more. It matters, but it's besides the point. The point is that you need to compare the actual situations the same way. Did this kid live stream it? And did he make it a racially motivated crime? Or was it you just targeting a disabled boy because he was defenseless? The problem is you got to look at it as in the court case itself. When the white guy goes into court, who knows? Maybe there wasn't enough evidence to prove that he's done all of this. Maybe the lawyer was like, how can you prove that? Now, when this group of Black Lives Matter radicals go in, and the proof is all there. It was live streamed. It was 100% a hate crime when you're yelling, F Donald Trump, F white people, as you scalp a poor white disabled boy. It is clearly a hate crime. And then also it says, charged with a hate crime. Yet not even at first it wasn't even considered a hate crime. It took a couple days for it to even be considered a hate crime. So that means you need to compare situations down to the T. Were there any priors to these people? You can't just go based off of a little meme, and that one meme proves the racial divide in America and how black people are getting thrown down and white people get away with everything. This is one example that may or may not even be an example of that. I'm sure you can find where it's the other way around, color-wise. I'm sure there's got to be at least one example of that in America where a black person got away with something over a white person. And even if this was an example of racial divide, what is one case out of 100 million plus people in America? What is one instance? Just think about that for a second. If there's one instance, that doesn't prove it. If it's a widespread thing, then yeah, but you got to compare everything down to the T and not go based off of what someone typed up in a meme. And proof of that is Dylan Roof, the guy who was part of the Charleston church shooting. He's getting sentenced to death. So because he's white, getting sentenced to death. You know, that's an example of, I guess, white privilege. You get sentenced to death, right? All right, we're moving on. Now, sticking with the Black Lives Matter stuff, Fox News posted, this just in, Democrats rehanging anti-police painting at Capitol Hill. I'm going to show you the picture right now. It depicts the police as pigs, just randomly shooting and arresting black people in this very Black Lives artsy picture. Listen, Black Lives Matter movement was founded off of proven lies, proven and proven again lies. The problem is that this is the Democratic Party supporting this and hanging it up. The Democratic Party, this is a direct attack on the police. The Democrats do not like the police, and this is an example of that. And that's not right. They need to support the police. This is like a direct attack on the police from the direct politicians, and that's not right. There's black people in the police force, you know, and half of these protests and riots caused by the Black Lives Matter group are all BS. They're all started off lies spread by the media, lies spread by Al Sharpton, lies spread by whatever Black Lives Matters activist is on the case at the time. And I really hate it when comedians get into the whole Black Lives Matter routine, into their comedy act, like they act like they're smarter than you and they preach to you. And I'm gonna play this one clip by the guy Michael Chu, whatever his name is.
We can't agree on anything anymore. As a country, we just can't agree. We just fight about everything. We can't even agree on Black Lives Matter. That's a controversial statement. Black lives matter. Not matters more than you, just matters. Matters. Just matters.
But when he gets further into it, it gets very political. And I'll admit that if I was a hardcore liberal that believed in the whole Black Lives Matter movement, I would probably be hysterical laughing, because I'll admit, it would be funny if I did support it.
That's where we're starting the negotiations. Matters.
It's acting like people are saying Black lives don't matter. It's not the case.
Black lives exist. Can we say that? Can we say, is that controversial? We always ask for the lowest common denominator. We ask for the lowest rights. Gays were fighting for equal rights. Equal rights. Could you believe that's an actual stance you could have? You could be for equal rights. That means there's people out there saying, I think everybody should have the same rights as everyone else. And there's other people like, nah, son, I disagree. I just don't think so. Black people was fighting for civil rights, not even equal. Just civil. Can we get civil? I'll take civil rights. Just be civil.
Listen, he's comparing the struggle of gay people wanting equal rights, which is something that they are struggling for when it comes to marriage and all that stuff, which I believe that they should just have equal rights when it comes to that. It just seems like an endless pit of approval from different sides of politicians to get votes. I don't know. If you're gay, get married. Big deal. Word. But he's comparing like how black people want the civil rights and all that stuff. Listen, you are equal. You were equal in every single way in America. There's no piece of legislation that says you're not equal, that denies you from going to a certain bathroom or going into a certain store. You are equal. Like, that's it. There's no piece of legislation that would declare black people not equal to white people or anybody else.
You want civil? Can you get civil? Turn the fucking hose off. Can we just get... They don't tell you black lives don't matter. That's not what they say. That's not the argument. They hit you with that slick shit. Like, well, all lives matter. Really? Semantics? That would be like if your wife came up to you and was like, do you love me? And you were like, baby, I love everybody. What are you talking about? I love all God's creatures. What are you saying? You're no different. Why do black people always have to get over shit so quickly? Thanks, black lady. Right? Why do we always gotta get over shit? Every time we bring some shit up. Slavery. Oh, that was 400 years ago.
What about all the white people that died to make slavery illegal in America? Is that part of the white privilege? It's not like white people as a whole went through a lot of hardships to also grant black people equality. There's white people fighting for black people as well in the past, in the segregation times, in the slavery times.
Police shooting, that was 2 weeks. Come on, you still?
He brings up police shooting and is equating that to slavery. That's another problem right there. There's almost no cases, like the big ones, the riot ones that started out. There's nothing that can prove that it's because of racism why someone got shot. Literally, I think it was Tamar Rice, I think his name was. He was running through a park with a gun that looked like a real gun. It was a BB gun. And he's walking around waving it at people. The cops get a call. There's this kid running around the park with a gun, pointing it at people. The cops show up. The kid, whatever he was doing with the gun, he probably pointed the gun at the cop or had it in his hand. I don't know exactly what happened. I had to brush up on it. But at the end of the day, the cop shot and killed him. Look at the situation. You're in the ghetto. You're in the hood. You probably get calls every day about shootings, and then you show up and there's someone in the park with a gun. As a cop, you see that and then you take action on it. There's no indication, there's no proof that it was a racist act by the cop. And almost every situation that Black Lives Matter protests about, that is the fact.
9/11. Oh, never forget.
You can't make a 9/11 joke. That was a national tragedy that affected everybody, white, black, Asian, Hispanic.
All buildings matter. I don't see how that works.
So that's the thing between liberals and conservatives. Conservatives respect what happened on 9/11, and they won't make any jokes or even laugh about anything 9/11 related because that was a national tragedy. It shook the world. The world's superpower, America, was under attack, and thousands of people lost their lives. And it just brought the feeling of security in America and by Americans down so much because it happened on the homeland. You cannot equate that to Black Lives Matter and their so-called struggle. You can't do that, and you can't. I just think it's a joke in bad taste. Now this guy is a joke, a complete joke. Keith Olderman, I believe his name is, from GQ magazine. You know, the place, the website, the magazine that brought you men's fashion tips, is now bringing you political advice on Donald Trump and a message to their supporters on how Trump is evil and a sick maniac. And this video, it's the most ridiculous piece of garbage I've ever seen in my life. They're completely running out of content to make you think that Trump is an egomaniac, crazy, sick in the head, lunatic. And I want you to listen to this one, and we're going to comment along the way.
You support Donald Trump. I'm not going to yell. I'm not going to say you're wrong. I'm not going to talk about his policies. I'm not going to talk about his promises. I'm not going to talk about whether he's going to cut your taxes or raise them. I'm not going to talk about whether he's going to make America great again or crash it and burn it. And unlike what you probably think, I'm not trying to get the election overturned. I'm not trying to get Hillary Clinton into the White House. I'm not claiming the Republican Party won't be there for at least the next 4 years. No, this is about him and you. And the respect for you I start with because you're watching this. You are thoughtful enough to have gotten this far. Frankly, I don't know if I could watch your video.
The guy's acting like he's smarter than everybody else.
That you're smarter than I am, in which case you already know what my point is going to be. I don't know who the political figure would be if our places were reversed. I guess the time I ever got the closest to the position you are in. Who does this on Christmas Eve? His tweet was a plug for a documentary about him. Not even a new documentary, a repeat. Who does this on Christmas Eve? His Christmas greeting on Twitter was just a photo of himself, not the family, not the wife, not the kids, not even the vice president, not Santa, not Jesus. Just him. Who does this?
Who does this?
2 days later, meaning 49 days after the election.
This guy goes on to say, and dish Trump, that he is crazy, that he's trying to call Trump a lunatic in the head because he made tweets on Christmas Eve to promote his documentary, and that he posted a picture of himself. Listen, Keith Olbermann, I did some research on your Twitter, and I found out you didn't even say Merry Christmas on your Twitter. And your Twitter was just full of ads to the Daily News, tweets about politics, dissing Donald Trump. I don't think you said anywhere you were tweeting out pictures of baseball players. I don't think you said Merry Christmas or any of that. There's not even pictures of you or your family. It's pictures of baseball players. Who does that? Who does that? Who doesn't say Merry Christmas? Who does that?
The election is still all he was tweeting about. President Obama campaigned hard and personally in the very important swing states and lost. What kind of man does this? Happy New Year to all, including to my many enemies and those who have fought me and lost so badly they just don't know what to do. Love. Would you write that? Would you write that?
I probably would.
Got votes from fewer people than the other candidate?
I would write that if I got more electoral votes than the other candidate did, regardless of the popular vote.
Did? Would you call everybody else your enemy?
He has plenty of enemies, Trump, including you, Keith Olbermann, including 99% of the mainstream media are his enemies. The entire mainstream world was out to destroy Trump, and he came out victorious. His enemies are you, are GQ magazine, are the liberal media, the mainstream media, almost everything on TV, almost all of Hollywood are his enemies. He's got more people against him that have higher power. And it's the people who have just the voting power, basically, that supported him and made him rise into the power.
To my mind, it is possible for you to agree with Donald Trump and still be a good person. I just disagree with you, but I don't think you're my enemy. But let me run one last pair of tweets past you and ask you if you think they were written by a normal guy. Various media outlets and pundits say that I thought I was going to lose the election. Wrong. It all came together in the last week, and I thought and felt I would win big, easily over the fabled 270, 306. When they canceled fireworks, they knew, and so did I. So those tweets are from last Monday. That means it had only been 3 weeks since he got up at one of those victory tour stops. This one was in West Allis, Wisconsin on December 13th, and he said he thought he was going to lose the election, and he thought he was going to lose the election on the night of the election.
So I go and see my wife. I said, baby, I'll tell you what, we're not going to win tonight because the polls have come out, and you know, I always used to believe in those exit polls. I don't believe in them anymore. I know this. If we're going to lose, I don't want a big ballroom.
There aren't a lot of choices.
What's the big deal? The night that it was coming out, every poll was against Trump, and he thought he was going to lose. So he probably thought in the back of his head, he probably whispered to his wife, yeah, we might lose. Let's not embarrass ourselves. Let's not get a big ballroom in case we lose. What's the big deal about that? Then he tweets saying, I knew I was going to win. You can have the same feelings for different things. You can go into something and be like, we're going to win this. We're going to win. I know we're going to win. And then you get last second thoughts. I don't think we're going to win. The odds seem against us. But yeah, come win. Yeah, I knew we were going to. Listen, there's nothing wrong with that. That's like going in, when I played football, you go into a game. We're going to win. We're going to beat this game. And you go in at halftime, and you're down by a couple of touchdowns, and you're like, yeah, I don't think we're going to win this game. But then you go back out, fired up. We're going to win. We're going to come back. And you end up winning in the end. That's the same thing. There's nothing wrong with that. That doesn't make him a sick man or crazy in the head.
I mean, he either lied in the...
Oh, he's such a liar now because his thoughts...
...that night, or he forgot that he said it, or there's something wrong.
There's got to be something wrong with Trump if he did that.
To pretend that there isn't something wrong with him, you have to pretend really hard. And I know you can't say it. I know you don't want to believe it.
Listen, Keith, you didn't even say Happy New Year's on New Year's Day, so you're not one to talk. But listen, for God's sakes, you can find better things to convince me that Trump is crazy or sick in the head or not a mentally stable person. You could find a lot better things than you're grasping at straws here. There's nothing there. You're dissecting a tweet and comparing it to something that he said previously 3 weeks prior to that tweet. Listen, you can do better than this. This is just it's out of control now, where they're just trying to find every little thing and massively blow it up. It's getting too much. It's sickening almost. I can make a better debate, a better argument to prove that Trump is mentally unstable than this guy, and that was his job setting out to do. We have a similar one by Robert Reich, I believe his name is. The 4 ways Trump is trying to control the media. And it says, tyranny begins.
Historically, tyrants have tried to control the press using 4 techniques that, worryingly, Donald Trump is already using. Number 1, berate the media and turn the public against it. Trump refers to journalists as dishonest, disgusting, and scum.
It lies, deceit, viciousness, disgusting reporters, horrible people. They're scum. Absolute scum. Remember that. Scum. The dishonest press.
When he lies, claiming, for example, massive voter fraud.
Listen, when Trump is calling out the media, 99.9% of the time he is right. The media attacked him. The media makes stuff up against him. The media came out with multiple lies against him. And he gets up there and he's finally saying it. The media is lying. The media is corrupt. They're in the pockets of the politicians that you guys elect. They're supportive. He says it how it is. There's nothing wrong with that. That's his freedom of speech, to go out there and discredit the people who should be discredited.
The election that he won in a landslide, and the media call him on those lies. He's saying, Trump was lying when he said that there was massive voter fraud. Trump was lying when he said he won in a landslide. Trump kind of did win in a landslide if you think about the odds stacked against him and how he won almost every single swing state and won the states that people didn't even think he was going to come close to winning. He may have lost the popular vote, but killed it in the electoral college vote, which is what matters. Just go on. The media is lying. Even televised satires he labels unfunny, one-sided, and pathetic. Number 2, limit media access. Trump avoids news conferences. He's blocked the media from traveling with him, and even from...
Why should he not? I don't know. Why should he do the press conferences on a clearly biased media out to just lie and destroy him at every second he gets? Why would he do that? I'm sure he'll do them down the road. He'll probably do a shitload of them.
Knowing with whom he's meeting. His phone call with Russian President Vladimir Putin, which occurred shortly after the election, was first reported by the Kremlin. Number 3, threaten the media. During the campaign, Trump threatened to sue the New York Times for libel in response to an article about two women who accused Trump of touching them inappropriately years ago, and then another that revealed part of his 1995 tax returns. He says he plans to open up...
The New York Times broke the law when they posted his tax returns. Illegal. He has all rights to sue them. Under everything in the law of this country grants him, he grants him the power to sue the F out of every single media outlet because of lies that they spread. Slanderous, flat out lies. And because he wants to do that, doesn't make Trump a bad, evil person that's become tyrannical. That just becomes, he wants fairness. Word, if you're gonna lie about me to millions of people, I'm gonna sue you. It's as simple as that. That has nothing to do with tyranny. And what I think has to do with tyranny is those people lying, because they're all part of corruption. All the media is working with the politicians. They're all part of their Illuminati, conspiracy theory, if you want to call it, collaboration establishment, where they're going to purposely lie to the American people to make the American people feel a certain way, to vote in certain people that could become tyrannical, pushing for more socialism, evil socialism. That's tyrannical. What the media is doing is tyrannical, because they're all working together.
Our libel laws, so when they write purposely negative and horrible and false articles, we can sue them and win lots of money. And 4, bypass the media and communicate with the public directly. Trump tweets incessantly, issues videos, and holds large rallies, all of which further...
So Trump, because he tweets, he's tyrannical, because he wants to bypass a corrupt media, that establishment that's clearly biased against him. He wants to tweet directly to the people who support him, his thoughts. That's why he's tyrannical. How didn't you see it earlier? How can you vote for such a guy who tweets to his supporters? Wake up, people.
Enable him to lie directly to the public with impunity. The word media comes from intermediate between the powerful and the public. Responsible media hold the powerful accountable by correcting their misstatements, asking them hard questions, and reporting on what they do. Apparently, Trump wants to eliminate such intermediaries. Historically...
Listen, the media failed at their job. If his definition was what the media is supposed to do, the media completely failed. All of it failed. And the only people that are doing it right are the people who do stuff like this, low budget, directly to you, giving our thoughts on situations. This is more successful media than watching CNN.
These 4 techniques have been used by demagogues to erode the freedom and independence of the press. Donald Trump seems intent on doing exactly this.
That's it! Trump's evil and tyrannical. That's it. Case closed, because he is fighting against an evil, tyrannical establishment through his own means. He is now a demigod. This is ridiculous. Ridiculous. I'm seriously lost for words on how ridiculous this is and how they think this is tangible. This is the left. This is the left's debates. These are the left's debates. Unbelievable. But now we're going to talk about Meryl Streep and her hypocrisy. I was browsing through Facebook, and I'm sure everyone knows what Meryl Streep did. She gave a very weird speech. Everyone's calling her brave, even though she did it in front of all of her peers. But I found some memes, I found some posts that I thought that were pretty funny that I want to share with you. This one was posted by someone. Meryl Streep came out dressed as Donald Trump at one of Hillary's events and made fun of him. Now at the Golden Globes, she says one of the reasons she hates Donald Trump is because he makes fun of people. Confused Meryl the blot, calling the kettle black. Meryl is a proper, worthless hypocrite, which is true. Meryl went on saying Trump made fun of disabled people, which he did not. There's a very great video I saw on Facebook. I think it was about CatholicsForTrump.com, I believe, where they debunked all that stuff about how he was making fun of the disabled person. You guys might remember the disabled person had an arm like this, could not move the arm, it was stuck like this. And Trump was kind of making fun of him as a fluster. He was saying, oh, he was doing this. Like, Trump made fun of plenty of people in the past. This is the way how he says that someone's flustered. Oh, I don't know. Like, that's when he makes fun of someone who's flustered. Did it to Ted Cruz, did it to multiple others the same exact way. But now, when he does it to someone who's disabled, which he did not even know who was disabled, which is no proof that they even met before, even though the New York Times said that they have met before, which they give no proof, no dates. They take the one frame of Trump when he's like this and put it side by side. Literally, one frame. If you watch the video over, you're like, get out of here. Completely debunked. That's what Meryl Streep was going off of. Completely debunked. Here's another meme. Trump words broke her heart, but she was staying conveniently quiet when Obama was bombing hospitals and funerals in the Middle East for the past 8 years, which is true because Obama can't do no wrong because he's a liberal god. Obama is more Hollywood than any Hollywood star that any president has ever been. Obama is more Hollywood than Trump. Obama is the hip, cool president. We don't need a hip, cool president. We need a president that's going to come in and do the damn job. But because Obama's hip and cool, he gets a pass. And then Donald Trump tweeted, this is what I think is great. This was posted by Donald Trump is Not My President Facebook page. They must be from a different country, I'm assuming. Meryl Streep, Trump tweeted, Meryl Streep, one of the most overrated actresses in Hollywood. Doesn't know me, but attacked me last night at the Golden Globes. And then they posted someone's response. Hey, Donald Trump, if 157 awards as an actor makes Meryl Streep overrated, what does 6 bankruptcies makes you as a businessman? And then has Meryl Streep going, that is all. Listen, that is the definition of overrated. You have 157 awards. You are overrated because you have so many awards, and I don't think you deserve that. Leonardo DiCaprio, if you go by his awards, he is underrated because he just got an Oscar. So that's considered underrated. This would be the definition of overrated because you got more awards than I believe you should have got. If she got no awards, then I would admit she would be underrated. But because she got so many, she's overrated. That's just how it works. Idiots. And also 6 bankruptcies, what does that make you as a businessman? Okay, let me pull up every one of Meryl Streep's bad movies, which I'm sure there's more than 6. So you're going to judge somebody based off of just a small amount of failures when they have a very large amount of successes? Same with Trump. Trump has dozens and dozens of businesses that were successful and made him millions and billions of dollars. And he had a few of them that didn't. That's business. That's what happens. Same thing with movies. You can make great movies and you can make bad movies. If we're going to judge someone based off of just their failures, then Meryl Streep is a horrible actress. And then I just love how every aspect of Hollywood gets on it. And even this girl, Boya Novakovic, I looked her up because I was creeping on her because she was on the show Shameless and I thought she was cute. So I was like, let me go slide into her DMs, stumble across her Twitter, and I find this. She's been in like one show. She's a nobody actress, but just proves that you got to be liberal to get in. So she's probably trying to make her way in. And she tweeted that 100% false meme of Trump, where it says, if I was I would run as a Republican. They're so dumb, all the voters, they believe anything on Fox TV. Donald Trump, People Magazine, 1998. That is completely 100% false. It never happened. It was never said. And that was proven on liberal Snopes. So just the fact that she's tweeting that, thinking that it's real, is hilarious. Like, this is their fact checked. They just post stuff. They see a meme, they post it, they go by it, and they judge their whole political agenda off of it. It's like, sorry, Boya Novakovic, you're wrong. You're completely wrong. Stop trying to be political activists. And George Clooney said something. George Clooney to President-elect Donald Trump. Aren't you supposed to be running the country, ? No, not yet. He hasn't been inaugurated. He's the president-elect, not the president yet. So he's not running the country yet. All right, George Clooney? And Aren't you supposed to be making movies, not giving your political advice? Listen, it goes both ways, George Clooney. We don't want to hear about your liberal nonsense. Make a damn movie, shut up. That's it. I'll watch your movies. If you make a good one, I'll watch it. Don't preach to me like you're better than everybody else because you're a Hollywood actor. But moving on from the liberal insanity and the brain disorder that they have, I found this very amusing. It was on Twitter. There was like an article, Twitter article, saying meteorologist opens up about the struggles with fighting climate change. And this meteorologist, Eric Holthaus, he went to like therapy because he was so depressed about climate change. He went to therapy, he went to counseling. These are his tweets. I'm starting my 11th year working on climate change, including the last 4 in daily journalism. Today I went to see a counselor about it. I'm saying this because I know many people feel deeply despaired about climate, especially post-election. I struggle every day. You are not alone. There are days where I literally can't work. I'll read a story and shut down for the rest of the day. Not much help besides exercise and time. The counselor said, do what you can, which I think is simple and powerful advice. I'm going to start working a lot more on mindfulness. Despair is natural when there's objective evidence of a shared existence problem we're not addressing adequately. You feel alone. That was only 5 out of like 20 tweets about it. This is the sick mentality liberals have, where he is honestly depressed. Listen, if your idea of climate change was real, the liberal idea of climate change, we would all have been dead by now, according to Al Gore. We should all be dead. Listen, there's a lot going on the earth, and for the most part, there's nothing we can really do about it, at least immediately. The world's going to keep revolving, and the liberal idea of the liberal solution to climate change, which may or may not be a factor caused by humans, because the climate is constantly changing. It used to be global warming and global freezing. Now it's climate change because they can't make up their mind. Their solution is just so ridiculous, so out of here, it would actually cripple the economy. That's the problem. At least come up with a viable solution that we can all get around, so we can all at least preserve a little bit more than we are. Because I'll agree, we probably do have too much pollution going up in the air. But that's how our economy, that's how our existence is working, our society works. We can work on cutting it down, but let's not work on destroying third world countries because they can't heat up their house, so screw them. Now from another sick liberal, someone who's just trying to play victim to get more publicity. It was on BuzzFeed, from the company that brought you, we're going to play this clip, very important, very inspiring, cookies baking, from the company that brought you cookies baking in fast motion. It looks delicious. Now brings you political activism. I'm going to play the clip for you, this actual clip. A video of a TSA woman giving a vaginal pat-down has gone viral. Perhaps it's time for the TSA to invest in new equipment. It's definitely time for them to get their hands away from vaginas. Political commentator Angela Ray is playing victim because she needs press. And she looks like a normal pat-down. Her flight from Detroit to New York, she had to go through an additional security checkup at the airport. Oh my God, discrimination. Sure, I had pre-check. Oh my God. She had to record the pat-down for me.
It might be the shoes.
Look how pissed off she is. We fly 7 times a week and this has never happened to us. Listen, bitch. Sometimes you might have to go through that random security check where they gotta pat you down. Ooh, boo-hoo, it's discrimination because I'm a Hispanic woman. And she tweeted the video and got this response. Sorry to hear about your bad experience. She worries about the emotional impact these pat-downs could have on sexual assault survivors. Perhaps it's time for the TSA to invest in new equipment and keep their hands away from vaginas. Wow, way to play victim. Listen, sorry you have to get pat down for guns on your thighs. There's no reason to be a bitch about it. There's no reason to complain. There's no reason to play victim. It was your choice to go through TSA check and get on the plane. If you do not want to get pat down, you don't take the plane. Take a train, take a car, take a freaking helicopter. Take something that doesn't require you to get pat down. That was your choice to go through that TSA checkup, to get on your plane, to get to your flight, to get to your destination. You have no right to complain about it in this context, ridiculous context. It was your knowingly choice that you knew what you're getting yourself into. Sorry you had to get that 1 in a million pat down extra check. Listen, they clearly didn't think you were a terrorist. You probably just got the random selection. Sorry, honey, but we're gonna pat you down. They even let a woman do it. This is just someone grasping on to something so small to try to play victim and to probably try to get some publicity. You got 24 million views. That's probably more combined than she's ever gotten in anything ever that she's done. Because I never heard of her. I'm sure none of you guys ever heard of her. That's really it. This is just the mindset of some of these liberals. These are their arguments. This is what they do. It's just so minuscule. It's so small. They take the littlest things and just blow it out of proportion. And now the whole TSA system it doesn't work properly because this one lady had to get pat down and they got close to her vagina. Come on. Trump's an evil demigod because of the tweets he makes. And think about how stupid that is. And then the tweets that they specifically used, I'm sure you could find other tweets that would probably look even more evil than the ones that he made in these videos. These are their arguments, these are their debates. This is how sick they are in the head. And that's a fact. And I think that's about it for our show today. Follow me on Twitter, send me some stories, send me some stupid stuff liberals do. And that's it. I'm Joseph Saladino, and thank you for watching.